Military is keeping up. We are keeping up the pressure through ongoing operations in 5 active theaters across the country. As you all know, we are fighting in the northeast, we are fighting in the northwest, we are fighting in the north central, in the south-south, and in the southeast. These operations have their highest intensity in the northeast and in the northwest. Now, these operations that we're involved in are complex, and they are complex because we have troops fighting in difficult terrains. Not just that, they are also complex because troops are fighting an adversary that adopts various forms across the various theaters. The operations are also complex in the sense that the adversary are mostly not in uniform, and this is deliberately so. They are also embedded within civilian population. This makes it challenging for us to strike without incurring civilian casualties. Furthermore, the terrorists are supported by informants that report on troops' movement. They also receive logistic support from persons that supply them food, people supply them fuel, and several other materials that sustain these terrorists in their enclave. I dare say that they even get women in their camps for their pleasures. All these add to the complexities of our ongoing operation. In essence, the terrorists have a support base of collaborators, and we must fish out these collaborators. That is the reason I keep repeating that winning the war without the support of the people is close to impossible. The military cannot do it alone. We need citizens to partake in fishing out the terrorist collaborators. Nevertheless, we have boots on the ground across the various theaters of operation, and we are fighting. We are fighting in different dimensions to crush the enemy. The ground forces are fighting on the ground. The Air Force is fighting, doing their thing from the air, while the Navy is at sea, protecting the mainstay of our economy. That is, fighting the crude oil theft. We are also fighting in the cyber dimension, because this war is not fought only on the battlefield. Now, for some of you, you might not know, but I tell you today that you see a lot of fake news, a lot of misinformation and disinformation. These are not ordinary. They are well orchestrated to achieve certain purposes and effects. The common denominator in all our operations across these theaters are the terrorists. The terrorists are the common enemy that we all must fight. The terrorists are responsible for keeping the nation in an almost state of constant counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency operations we have in the country. Citizens cannot live safely as long as terrorists exist. The terrorists must be crushed for citizens to have peace and live in safety. This is exactly what we are doing as a force. We are crushing them. And to our update of what has happened in the week under review, I will say that troops neutralized 187 terrorists during the week, even as we arrested 183 persons. Troops also arrested 43 perpetrators of oil theft, as we rescued 109 kidnapped hostages across the country during the week. In the South-South, troops denied the oil theft of over 1.1 billion liters of stolen crude oil. Furthermore, troops recovered 128 assorted weapons and 3,300 assorted ammunition, among others. The breakdown of some of the recovered items, which are the ammunition and the weapons, are 80 AK-47 rifles, 15 locally fabricated guns, among others. We also recovered 1,941 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition and 729 rounds of 7.62 millimeter NATO ammunition, among other weapons and ammunition recovered. Troops in the Niger Delta area discovered and destroyed 18 dugout pits, 30 boats, and 49 storage tanks during the week. Other items recovered include 66 cooking ovens, 15 vehicles, 5 speedboats, and 57 illegal refining sites. Troops also recovered, as earlier mentioned, over 1,100,000 liters of stolen crude oil, over 200,000 liters of illegally refined AGO, and over 1,200 liters of PMS, otherwise known as petrol. It's now time to take a look at our various operations across the country, beginning with the Northeast, Operation Haram. The troops of Operation Haram recorded the following activities during the period under review. We recorded surrendering of terrorists, fighters and their families. We conducted ambushes. We rescued hostages. We conducted fighting patrols, and we arrested some terrorists during the week under review. Offensive operations were conducted to Dikwa, Goza, Bama, Kukawa, Chibok, Damboa, Kaga, Gamuringala, and Konduga local government areas, all in Borno State. Offensive operations were also conducted to Magdagali local government area of Adamawa State, as well as Damaturu and Gaidam local government areas of Yobe State. Overall, during the week, troops of Operation Haram neutralized 97 tourists, arrested 45 suspects, and rescued 21 kidnapped hostages. The troops of Operation Haram also recovered 47 AK-47 rifles and 15 fabricated rifles, among other items recovered during the week. We can now move to the North Central, where we have Operation Safe Haven. The troops of Operation Safe Haven recorded the following during the week. They conducted offensive operations such as fighting patrols, raids, counter and anti-kidnap operations, and they also arrested violent extremists in Jos North, in Mangu, in Bokos, and in Basa local government areas, all in Plateau State. Troops conducted similar operations to Jama local government area, Kauru, and Zango Kataf local government areas, all in Kaduna State. Overall, the troops of Operation Safe Haven neutralized 11 insurgents, arrested 29, and rescued 20 kidnapped hostages during the week. The troops recovered 3 AK-47 rifles and 102 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition, among others. Let's now move to Operation Wild Stroke, which is still in the North Central. The troops of Operation Wild Stroke recorded the following during the week. The troops conducted offensive operations such as raids, which led to the arrest of suspected violent extremists in Karu, local government area of Nasarawa State, and also led to the arrest of criminals within the Abuja Municipal Area Council. Additionally, troops conducted operations in Wukari, Usa, and Saudana local government areas of Taraba State, as well as Gwe East local government area of Benue State. Overall, the troops of Operation Wild Stroke neutralized 4 terrorists, arrested 21 suspects, and rescued 11 kidnapped hostages during the week. The troops recovered 1 AK-47 rifle and 62 rounds of 7.62mm NATO ammunition, among other items recovered during the week. Let's cross over to the northwest, where we have Operation Hadirin Daji. The troops of Operation Hadirin Daji recorded the following during the period under review. They conducted offensive operations to Birnin-Gwari, to Chikum, and Igabi local government areas of Kaduna State. The troops also conducted similar operations to Kangara and Batsari local government areas of Katsina State. Additionally, the troops conducted operations in Gusau local government area of Zamfara State. Now, overall, the troops of Operation Hadirin Daji neutralized 47 terrorists, arrested 17 suspects, and rescued 33 kidnapped hostages during the period under review. The troops also recovered 14 AK-47 rifles and 429 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition, among others. Now, further into the northwest is Operation Wild Punch. The troops of Operation Wild Punch recorded the following during the week under review. The troops conducted ambush operations, fighting patrols, counter and anti-kidnapping operations to Kagarko and Igabi, local government areas of Kaduna State. The troops also conducted similar operations to Buari Area Council of the FCT and Lokoja local government area of Kogi State. These operations served as deterrents as well as dislodge the presence of violent extremists in the areas patrolled by the troops. Overall, the troops of Operation Wild Punch neutralized 21 terrorists, arrested 23 suspects, and rescued 22 kidnapped hostages during the week. The troops also recovered 9 AK-47 rifles and 261 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition, among others. Now, let's flip to the South and see what's happening there. The troops of Operation Delta Safe in the South maintained the momentum against the activities of crude oil theft. Indeed, the troops destroyed several illegal refining sites and recovered stolen products during the period under review. The troops also conducted offensive operations in Ethiopia East local government area of Delta State. Additionally, the troops conducted offensive operations and arrested violent extremists in Ovia, south-west of Edo State. Troops further conducted offensive operations in Ikono, Ika, and Abak, local government areas of Akwa Ibom State. These operations led to the rescue of hostages and the recovery of weapons. Overall, the troops of Operation Delta State recovered 1.1 million liters of stolen crude oil, over 200,000 liters of illegally refined AGO, otherwise known as diesel, and over 1,200 liters of illegally refined PMS, otherwise known as petrol. Additionally, troops discovered and they equally destroyed 18 dugout pits, 13 boats, and 49 storage tanks, among others. Other items recovered by troops include 5 speedboats. They destroyed 66 cooking ovens. They destroyed 15 vehicles, among other items, including 26 illegal refining sites destroyed during the week. Troops apprehended 43 suspects involved in oil theft and violent extremism, among others, during the week. Now, to the southeast, where we have Operation Udoka. The troops of Operation Udoka recorded the following during the period under review. The troops of Operation Udoka conducted fighting patrols. They equally conducted counter and anti-kidnapping operations in Okigwe and Isisioma local government areas of Imo and Abia states, as well as Oha Ozara local government area of Ebonyi State. Overall, the troops of Operation Udoka neutralized 4 terrorists during the week. They arrested 18 suspects and they rescued 2 kidnapped hostages. The troops recovered 1 AK-47 rifle, among other items recovered during the week. Now all recovered items, persons, were handed over to the appropriate authorities for further action, including that of prosecution. And in summary, I will say that troops are confronted by a vicious enemy, and this enemy are the terrorists. As we know, they are engaged currently trying to kill citizens or have killed citizens. Given the recent suicide bombing incidents in Goza, it is clear that the terrorists in the northeast are in the phase of their ending life cycle. They are therefore desperate to attract attention, to bolster relevance, to mobilize new recruits, to reduce support for the armed forces, and by extension, to reduce support for the federal government. We are aware of some of the plans of these terrorists to target some critical infrastructure in the country, and we have in place measures to forestall such plans. Security agencies responsible for securing critical infrastructure and protecting some of the known facilities have been notified and have been placed on alert. Indeed, we have frustrated several of such dastardly plans, and we are actively closing in on the perpetrators. These terrorists will not stop what they are doing until they are stopped. And what is needed at this time is to force the terrorists to pay a price for every act of aggression against citizens of this country. We recognize this as a force, and we are towing that line as part of our strategy to win the war. Indeed, we have no choice but to fight for our safety and to fight for our way of life as a people. For us in the military, defense is the essence of what we do. We will surely defeat the terrorists on the battlefield, and we will help our nation to flourish again. We therefore call on citizens to stand united. We call on citizens to remain vigilant, and we call on citizens to continue to support the efforts of the armed forces to ensure a secure and a peaceful nation. When we compromise on security, we compromise the security of everyone, and we should take note of it. Thank you very much. In the Tudun Biri incident that sadly occurred in Kaduna, what I can say at this time is that it will be adjudged as prejudicial for me to speak on that matter. As you know, the case is before a military court-martial. However, when the case has been disposed by the court, you can be sure that I will bring that information to you. Now, for us in the military, defense is the essence of what we do. We do it to protect our citizens. We do it to protect our nation. We do it to ensure that those who are causing insecurity in the land are stopped, because they will not stop until they are stopped. Therefore, our ongoing operations is to ensure that they are crushed and their will to fight is destroyed. When their will to fight is destroyed, they see no hope, they see no essence, they see no reason to further carrying weapons against citizens or against the security forces. So we are targeting their will to fight. And like I did mention, we will defeat these terrorists. We will defeat them on and off the battlefield. The ongoing war is not just in the battlefield, it is also off the battlefield. You see things in social media. Those things you see are well orchestrated to achieve certain purposes and effects. It is important that we are mindful of how we relate to those things when we see them. Otherwise, you will be playing into the hands of the adversary or the terrorist. Thank you very much.
Alpha, you listen to everything this man said. Yes. So across all the zone, all the how many zone, 4 zones or 6 zones in Nigeria, all of them, insecurity has taken over. They are fighting war. The military has fighting war in this region, from the north, northeast, southwest, southeast, west, all of them. They are fighting war. There's probably across the country. None of the region that is safe now. Now let me tell you something. The problem is you guys are fighting on no government. You don't know them. You are fighting who you don't know, and you will never go to succeed fighting who you don't know. That's number 1. Number 2, the people you are fighting are not the people, are not the problem of the country. The problem of the country are the sponsors of those people you guys are fighting. Yes, it's just like Omoishe and Ogaishe, apprenticeship, who is doing apprenticeship and the master teaching them job. So the apprenticeship are inside the bush doing what their masters told them to do, to go and do. The masters is at home using phone, mobile phone, to communicate with them. Who are these masters? You and I know that some of them are even in government houses, are everywhere. You don't understand. So everything you do, they are being communicated to those people inside the bush. Even in this place where you make your press conference now, some of them are there. They're working together. So by the time you leave, you finish this your press conference, the next thing that information will be communicated to them. Whatever you guys discuss, the next move, the next action, what you guys are going to do, they will be communicated to them inside the bush. Then those people too will strategize. They are just planning. So like this, you will never succeed. You guys will never succeed. The military, yes, they are just working hard, but they cannot defeat these people until the right thing is being done. They said many times, Professor Osman, this northern man, said, military cannot solve the problem of this country. The military has already overstretched, or you are overusing them, and they're tired already. They cannot solve the problem of this country. The problem lies in these leaders, the sponsors of this Boko Haram, banditry, whatever you call them. People are there sponsoring them, giving them all the, you even said now, the informant are the major problem. The informant, people are giving them food, you don't know them. They are using mobile phone to communicate with them inside bush. You don't know those people, you don't know those who are using mobile phone to communicate with them. People are, there are some doctors going inside the bushes to looking at treating them. You don't know them. People are giving them food. You don't know them. Water, everything. You don't know them. So those people are not the problem. No. Deal with the leader, the sponsor. Look for the leaders. You and I know some of these leaders. A lot of them, allegedly, a lot of them has been accused. I don't want to mention this. If I mention this over the past. Allegedly, we've seen on social media, somebody will come on national TV to mention names that these people are the problems. These people are the sponsors. What happened to them? There is no question. There was no question questioning the person who come on national TV to expose those people allegedly they are the sponsor. Those people did not revenge or take them to court to come and explain before they said they have evidence. So you military did not accuse those people. You don't go for them. The people, the accuser, they have not. They don't go for them to drag them to court to say, come and show us your evidence. They know themselves. So all this one that you guys are doing, a waste of time for me. Is a waste of time, waste of everything. People are inside their offices using mobile phone, everything to communicate with them. The next action, the next move. Before you leave, before you get there, they change the positions. They strategize. As you are planning, they say they are planning. So until you do the right thing, until you use some people to show example in some of these leaders, inside your offices, they are there. They are there. In government houses, they are there. In this military, they are there. As far as they are getting what they wanted, they don't care about others. So you are just fighting a ghost. It's people you don't know. Small, easy to solve this problem of this country when you use some people to show example. Bring them to book. Leave sentiment apart. This is the solution of this country. Take it or leave it. If you keep those people, if you bring those people today, or Moishe, inside the bush, you bring them because those people have not been well taught through or what they are doing, the lack of the orientation. Yes, anyhow, you can defeat some of those people, right? When you defeat them, the Oga will recruit more boys. They need, the business must go on, and that is the problem. That is just it. Take it or leave it. When you do the right thing, bring those people to book, bring them, use them to show example. Others will learn lesson. If you fail to do all this, forget about it. You are just busy wasting time fighting, talking here and there, and giving them more power because they don't know your weak point already. Say you will talk tired now. We'll do that. Is just it. Please, what do you think? Share this video. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be your guy. Run out for me now, please.